Okay, so welcome back to another video on the 5-a-day GCSE Maths series. We are doing 10th of Jan. This is grades 6 and grade 7. First question is, what is the sum of the interior angles of an octagon? So if I draw an octagon, so yeah. So an octagon, if you remember, has 8 sides. So the rule is, if you have 8 sides and you take away 2, that gives you the number of triangles which you can make inside that. So that means there are 6 triangles, and we know each triangle has the sum of angles to be 180. So we're doing 6 triangles, each worth 180, meaning 6 times 180. So that would be 1080 degrees. So altogether, all the interior angles of an octagon would add up to 1080. Now, if you imagine this to be a regular octagon, which means all the angles are equal, so that's like saying if you have how many angles? 8 angles. So let's say if I have 8 friends, I've got 1080 pounds, and each friend has the equal or the same amount of money with them. How much does each person have? So I have to split, or I have to, divide 1080 among 8 of my friends. So that would be 135 degrees. So yeah, so that's your total angle, and you divide that by the number of sides. That would give you how much is each of these interior angles. So that tells you each of those interior angles is 135. Moving on to the next one, find the equation of a line. Now, like I said, I think we discussed this yesterday. To find the equation of a line, you basically need 2 ingredients. One, you need the gradient, which is your m value, and also you need a point, any point for that matter. Now, gradient can be found out using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because in this question you've got 2 points. So if I do y2 minus y1, that will be 11 take away 2 over x2 minus x1 would be 7 take away 4. So that is 9 over 3, which is 3. So you know your gradient is 3. Now you need a point. I would usually go for the smaller numbers, so I'm going to choose 4 and 2. Obviously, the equation of the line, I'm pretty sure all of you can remember that one, y equals mx plus c. You've got your gradient there, m, and we know m is 3. So I'm going to write y equals 3x plus c. But to find c, we're going to have to use the x coordinate and your y coordinate, which means y coordinate would be 2, x coordinate would be 4. So that means we're going to use 2 is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12, plus c. So take away 12 on both sides. So c is equal to 2 take away 12, which is minus 10. That means we can finally forge the equation y is equal to 3x minus 10. That's the equation of your line. This one says find the missing side. Obviously, it's a right angle triangle. And in a right angle triangle, if you know 2 out of 3 sides, that would call for Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras' theorem says a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where a, just think of your English alphabet. A comes first, then B, then C. That means A is your smallest side. This would be the second biggest, and that would be your biggest side. So obviously the smallest side is 14, which means we're going to do square root 14, square that, plus square root 35, square that. That is equal to c squared. So that tells me c squared is equal to square root 14. When you square that, becomes 14. Square root 35, when you square that, that becomes 35. So that tells us c squared is equal to 49. c is equal to square root 49. The answers could be positive 7 or negative 7, but because it is the length of a side, we don't ever really see a negative 7 on a ruler when you're measuring length. So this would only be the positive answer from the square root. So your answer would be 7 centimeters. Coming to the end of the last two questions, we just have to draw a Venn diagram. So we need two circles here, one for O, one for S. So one of them is O and the other one is S. Always remember the rectangle or the box in which you are putting everything. So the thing that looks like a E, I tend to remember it as E, stands for everything. So I need to put all the odd numbers in O. So all the odd numbers. Now one good practice is as you're putting each number, it's good to strike those numbers out. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Now let me put the other numbers, square numbers. 4 is a square number. 9 is a square number. That's it. Okay, so because I have already written 9 in both of them, we can put 9 in the middle. And then the numbers, oh, my bad. 1 is a square number. Yeah, 1 is a square number. So because 1 is there in both of them, yeah, 1 has to be in the middle. Yeah, nearly forgot 1 is a square number. Yeah. And then, yeah, everything who do not belong anywhere belongs on the outside. So 2 is on the outside, 6 is on the outside, 8 is on the outside, 10 is on the outside, 12 is on the outside. So we've kind of covered everything. Now, the only thing that I can think of, one reason why I missed that one is because I did that striking off. So if you think it might get in your way in which you wouldn't be able to check the numbers that you're looking or that you're supposed to write, yeah, maybe instead of striking, just put a tick mark on the top so that you do not miss out any numbers. But it's always a good practice to check if you have done all the numbers so that you don't miss out anything on your Venn diagram. Now connected to this, we need to write down the probability of O intersection S. So O intersection would mean the middle part of both of them. So we need to check. So again, we're doing probability. Probability is how many over total. So you ask yourself, how many are there in between O and S? So as you can see, in between O and S, you have only two numbers, which are 1 and 9. So the answer for how many is 2. How many numbers are there in total? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just did this a boring way, but obviously when you're counting from 1 to 13, it is 13. But just be careful in case there is a 0 there. Don't write 13 because you need to count the 0 as well. So that would be 14. So if you're unsure of, it will just take you, 10 seconds to count. So why risk it? So that's 2 over 13. So your answer for the first one is 2 over 13. Next one is slightly different. So it says O union S complement. So that means we are taking everything in O and everything that is not in S. So let me first show you what that looks like. So it has to be everything in O. So if I have a highlight, okay, maybe first this is O, this is S. So everything that is in O, so that would be everything in O. And everything, S complement means it shouldn't be in S. So everything that is outside of S. So if I do outside of S with a different color, this is outside of S. This is also outside of S. This is also outside of S, outside of S, outside of S, outside of S. Now, the most common mistake or something that people tend to, well, misunderstand is, oh, it has to be outside of S. So should I include this yellow here? And the answer is yes, because you are considering O. O is acceptable and outside of S is acceptable. Both of them are acceptable. So because O is acceptable, that is the reason why the yellow gets accepted. And because S outside is acceptable, so that's why everything else, although it is kind of spilling over into the O bit. So O is acceptable and outside of S is also acceptable. So that's the reason why we're using both of them. So we kind of know which are the numbers that we should count and which are the numbers that we do not really need. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is not really a number. That's a O. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I've got 7 numbers that are there in both of these colors out of 13. So my answer would be 7 out of 13. So yeah, that's the questions for today. If you have any doubts or any questions that if you didn't understand anything, you can drop a comment so that maybe I'll try to make a follow-up video or something along those sorts, or we could even discuss this in class. And I'll see you in the next video.